Hi there, everyone. Welcome to the Gremlin Show, where I fawn and on over my Ghibli mushroom. I just love him. But it's not over. That's midway. I'm just showing a sneak peek. I know that, you probably saw what it looks like in the thumbnail, but hey, I'm just going to give a little teaser there to be like, hey, this is what it's going to look like toward the end, most of it. And then I go crazy because I can't be stopped. Also, it's starting to look questionable at this point. Maybe, but just, ignore that. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see. Just some tinfoil obscurely placed over clay. And now we are at the fun moment where we get to cover up that odd looking shape that now kind of resembles a giant nail with some clay. And I rolled it out by hand because I don't have a pasta maker. So yes, we are indeed doing a mushroom, but not an ordinary mushroom. We're doing a Studio Ghibli inspired mushroom. And we are going to have a little helper here right now. You can see he was making clay too. You see his little thing in the back. He made Train Eater, and he loves to play with clay. But, I'm not going to tell him to go away. We were having fun. And most of the video here is on our project anyway, so if you don't like small hands, go away. Also, I apologize for the earthquake that's gonna happen as I beat the mushroom. Every time I put more clay on, I just, I'm trying to smack out that bottom so it's nice and flat and it sits upright, but it will result in earthquakes. So the next one that happens, there will be a boom on the screen, don't worry. And so we're just painstakingly rolling this out, giving ourselves carpal tunnel. It's no big deal. Because waste not, want not with that clay, right? Am I right these days with the cost of things? But I gotta be in my bonnet. I wanted to make a mushroom. I at first was like, hey, I want to make some little rock people because I saw KP Creations make adorable little rock buddies, and they were just the cutest little things ever. If you don't follow Said Human and you happen to follow me, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Go follow this human. But it evolved. As I got to sitting down, initially I was like, mushroom. She made a mushroom. I like mushrooms. And I was like, no, I don't want just a mushroom. I love Studio Ghibli, and I've been wanting to make something Studio Ghibli because this summer we're doing a summer soap series that is going to be Ghibli inspired. And I'm beyond excited about that. So now we're just gonna smush this out and, make that mushroom more mushroom-like and less otherly. So the ones that I will be pulling from Ghibli today will be Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, and My Neighbor Totoro. Now, obviously, there are other amazing Studio Ghibli films, but none such that I felt I could create things from them that would fit accurately into this build. And, I started to feel like Arietti here. Giant hand invading my space. And, it happens. Now, let's speed this process up because I got fiddly. Fiddly bits mostly done, we are mushrooming. It's pretty mushroomy, right? So now we can move on safely to other little parts. I will be making a cherry blossom type flower to put on top, as well as a little Totoro and a Calcifer. And of course, Calcifer is going to have his log. So we're just placing out these little flower bits here. And in the back, he is just trying his hardest to be patient for when we were ready to bake all of this. I may have taken a bit longer, but I'm fiddly bits. I can't be stopped. I'm like, hey, what if I also make this? What if I also make this? And now to make these all stay together and be smushy smushy. We're just gonna get in here and smash and take out our aggression about everything in life. Anyone else feeling like 2023 is off to something of a start? I'm not having it. So the other day, we were just driving along, having life, and someone did not clean their car well enough after the storm, and a big sheet of ice flew off of their truck and smashed my windshield. I am none too happy and now have to pay the price because of their stupidity. But, we have a beautiful mushroom here that I get to look at, and it brings me the happies, and that's what matters, right? So this is why it's important to do the things that make you the happies, give you happies. And here is my least favorite part of the build in anything, the base coat. But it's so important, honestly. You have to do it. The colors just sit better, It really makes a difference. And it doesn't take that long anyway. And now that I have one hand ick and one hand clean, I'm going to take advantage and have a cookie break. And I'm also, sipping on some coffee during this because I am a nightly person. Yeah, I can't tell you the hour it was when I finished each night working on this, and I only took 2 nights to build it entirely. So there's my impatience for you. And I do try to usually keep one hand clean-ish so that I can do other things while I fiddle and do the stuff. Now, don't pay too close attention to the color on either the cherry blossom or the log at this point. I changed them about 50 times as I am painting these. I wasn't happy with the colors, and, I could have drawn these out beforehand and decided what I wanted. I could have done paint swatches and figured out, but why would I do that? Why would I do that? I also changed calcifer a little bit here and there, so don't get too attached. I will fix them because I cannot just be happy. But I'm happy in the end. Honestly, they came out really good, and I'm glad I kept fiddling. But it's just, it stops me from getting anything resembling sleep. And the amount of coats I had to give this top to make it actually red was too much. In hindsight, I probably should have primed the mushroom top with red as well instead of white, but you live, you learn, and you don't learn and you repeat mistakes. And, the Totoro, he was looking really cute, but I don't know. I wasn't liking the type of shading. I felt like he looked unfinished, so he will also get further fixing later. And the log is starting at this point to look more log-like, yeah? And so, yeah, the color on that Totoro is going to be vastly different in the end. And I thought about making the little white Totoro or the little blue Totoro, but I like the coloring better on the big guy. But here he's looking like a little rock. I wasn't happy. So off camera, I fixed him. You can see him in the back there. He's looking more Totoro-y, more like the big guy. Big fluff. I would give anything to see him in the forest. I would never leave the forest though, so probably for the best that I don't. And can we also appreciate the amazing, amazing landscapes and just beautiful scenes that are within every Ghibli movie ever? I'd give a lot to have that in real life. So now we are on to the, more detail-y bits. We're almost done with the general coats, and then we can get to details that are more fun and easier to do. I'm just going in with a dark wash here of the mushroom and batting it down and wiping off randomly, haphazardly with a paper towel so that there's little shaded bits. We want more mushroom-like, more real-ish, because you see Studio Ghibli mushrooms everywhere, don't you? Although, how fun would it be if there really were? I mean, I would never eat mushrooms again, that's for sure, but how cute would they be? I'd have them everywhere. I'd cover my entire home. And at this point, I kind of want to cover my entire home. I want to make a whole bunch of these, but different types. I kind of want, I don't know. Have you seen the people that make the shelf mushrooms and they decorate their walls with them? I want those, and I need to make those now. But we're obviously not doing that today. No time. And I am not Howl. I can't do magic, so I just do this for now and wish for more because it's never enough. And I finally finished up the cap and am ready to start in on No Face's face. Because yes, the mushroom itself is No Face. And no, I did not make the back of his face white and put black around that. I just felt like it would be too much with the other things I wanted to put on here. I really didn't want it being too crowded. As much as I love to overdo things, I wanted to still have it be, clear what each thing is and not look too busy. This is not an I Spy. This is just a fun, simple project that I felt like doing. I also really like the purple pictures of No Face rather than the blue ones. So that's what we're doing here. And I just love the tiny little pop of color that's there because it goes against all the others that are currently present. And what would a Studio Ghibli mushroom be without some soot sprite friends, right? I use this little ball tool to just kind of get some basic circles down randomly everywhere, and then we'll go in later and add legs and the eyes and the other tiny little bits in the eyes. Pupils. That's what we want. Pupils. Words are hard. Anyway, I'm obsessed with these movies. But I really do at some point need to do something about The Secret World of Arrietty. I don't know if you have not let yourself feel joy and watched that, but you should. They're on HBO, honestly. There's tons of Ghibli movies there, and it's so fun. But I am obsessed with that one. It might be my new favorite. Don't tell anyone who knows me in real life, because I've loved My Neighbor Totoro forever. But Secret World of Arrietty might be my new favorite. It's really good, and the visuals are stunning. I also just really love the idea of being a teeny tiny person who gets to just, make random things out of things that are not meant to be those things, And I know you're like, hey, you're ruining that mushroom right now. It's okay. This is going underneath moss. I'm going to put down some fake moss, grass-ish stuff on here. And just in case there's, some peeking through, which foreshadowing there will be, I'm putting down green underneath so that you still see that through it and it still looks moss-like, things, facts. It's good, I know. So I'm just haphazardly doing this. It doesn't need to be perfect, doesn't need to look great at this point, but I still love it. Honestly, at this stage alone, I could have stopped and still been happy with myself, but we cannot do that. Even at the end, I still found myself being like, oh, I could also do this and do that. But if you don't let yourself stop somewhere, you never will. Though, not gonna lie, this summer or spring-ish time, when I can go outside in warmth again, I am going to collect an acorn and place that on top too, because, the little Totoro's bringing around their acorns. It has to happen. And why sculpt one when I can just go outside in nicer weather and find a cute little one that suffices? And the cutest little parts are coming! All the little detail bits that say, hey, this is what this is. So now we know these are soot sprites, and I figured they'd be looking in every direction. They're not going to just all be facing one way, so their eyes are going different ways. Some of them are looking at each other funky, some of them are looking up at the Totoro and wondering about what's happening on top of the mush cap. And now it is time to varnish. And I learned about silicone mats recently. I had a thought, and I'm glad I had the thought because it saves a lot. I'm very sloppy at varnishing, and so this way they don't stick to anything and get paper or anything stuck to the varnish. Good stuff. now that everything's looking really shiny, I'm gonna let them sit, and then we can start doing the funnest part. And I marveled at how cute it looks already. I mean, my happiness levels making this project are great. This really helped a lot, and I need to do these kind of projects more often. I need to let myself. I get caught up too often in what can I make that people will like to buy. And, that's fun, but sometimes you gotta do things for yourself. Even if that means taking lots of time and losing lots of energy, and, it's okay. It's worth it sometimes. And I wanted the little tiny Totoro to be in the middle of the flowers, so we're just gluing these all together, and it took a while to get them to sit where I want, but we made it happen, Cap'n. It's all good. And so that my log wouldn't roll around as I place calcifer, I used this little setup. It worked, and hey, kudos to the cameraman. Yo, good stuff. So here is my fake moss. Back to the, fun bits where it's actually in camera and you can see things happening. We're just gonna haphazardly place down glue and then place on the moss. I know it's very scientific, and just calm down. It works out great, honestly. Also, I don't care how old I get, I will still enjoy the satisfaction of rubbing glue off of my fingers once it has dried. And if you heard a yeah in the background, that would be my son. He has great timing. So because they are out in a forest, mushrooms don't just grow in cities, or at least I don't think so. I haven't really been to any cities, to be fair. We need some greenery up in here, and I love something about having fresh fake greens on a project, and I can't wait for the day that I ever have static grass. Someday I will treat myself and it'll be magical and wonderful. But this is not that day, so it looks good as is. Maybe someday I will make another mushroom like this of different Studio Ghibli movies, and then we'll do that. You never know. And now we're just going to place on a bunch of other little random bits and bobs to pull it all together and make my heart happy. We have a little plastic green-ish leaf thing. I had a whole bunch of these berry bundle bush things. I had wanted them hanging from my ceiling, but they were just too heavy and they kept falling. So I haven't found a project yet for them, but I took some of the little bits off of them to place on as little berries that you would find in the forest that, are just going to hang out here with the friends, so that if they need a snack, it's good. They got this. They can do some foraging of their own. So after we finish adding these little bits, I debated adding some little dried flowers, but I just felt like, again, it would be a little too busy at this point because I have so many things I'm adding. I have some little not great quality crystals that I will be adding here. With color patterns that go similar to this. I like it, nice and earthy. And I just, when you're doing a project where you're gluing things down, you don't want to use the most expensive crystals. I don't know, in case you make a mistake or something, I would cry at the cost of that. So I have these cheapo little buddies for fun projects like this. And honestly, it came out so cute. I'm so happy. I cannot tell you. And good news, everyone. You made it through. We're at the end. So thank you so much for dealing with my rambling for this long. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this maybe brought you a little bit of the happies that it brought me. And I will see y'all again next time. Go watch some Studio Ghibli movies.